found it really fascinating, your relationship, and I looked at it as the power of woman and the gullibility of man. Here's a woman impaling herself, bleeding,
yes.
And here he is not going to drastic measures, calling, paramedics, dragging her, and how convincing she is. Honey, I'm fine. I'm like, oh yeah, I think all men have been in that position.
He did know it was not that her time of the month, so he was,
Yes, you were on it.
Yeah,
a lot of guys are.
Yeah, but they planned their honeymoon around it, which I thought was cool. That's what I learned about honeymoons. But yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Well, the gullibility of man, you're right. I mean, what didn't help the situation is the fact that B hid the car keys. Sneaky bitch.
Sneaky.
But other than that, yes. I mean, also, thank heavens Paul didn't run off, otherwise we wouldn't have a movie.
No.
So there was also that element, kind of like keeping him there.
Yeah, I thought I'd hang around. That was enjoyable. But, also, what do you do? That's the thing. And it's like, and what I felt when I was reading it, I didn't see the whole thing coming at the end. I was thinking it was descending into some like mental illness thing or something, that she was losing her mind, or I literally didn't know which way it was going. So in that respect, how do you approach that? There's someone you love, you give everything to, you help them to the point of it not being helpful.
Yes.
People can do that, so human, you fucking try, and I think that that's quite natural, even to the point of potentially horrifying things of tying someone up. And like that was the hardest thing for me to kind of make sit with my character, because I thought, well, that's just, he wouldn't do that. But we don't really know how we're going to respond in extreme situations, and if something's so harrowing that someone disappears from you yet they're still there, then how do you play it? And I think he's grappling for everything. I think they're both trying to make it right, but they go through all the stages of that.
Where did you draw from because who's ever been in an experience like that? We've been in a traumatic experience, but you're dealing with the unknown, and your love for her is so great. You wanting to believe her that she's fine, and you excuse her not being able to make coffee, and she's looking rather pale.
I think there has been, without going into too much detail, I think there have been moments in my life where there are challenges of trying to find out who, maybe, I don't know, I think in maybe smaller ways, obviously, not saying I've been through this, but it's maybe just more extreme versions of things that might already exist, and it's that, if from a tiny position of distrust, or of not quite knowing, or of losing confidence in someone which you once had confidence in, it's just extreme versions of that, I think, but also that's the brilliant part of this job, is that we get to put ourselves in those imaginary states and see what comes out.
Because I like the authenticity that you came out of the restroom, and you come out and you're convincing him. The way you're touching him, it's honey, I'm fine. It's like it came out so authentic. It's amazing. Where did you tap for that? It was amazing to me.
I felt that, of course, by that time there was nothing left but pure and utter desperation, and kind of like foreseeing the doom, and the fact that her marriage, that she so loved and caressed, and is completely enamoured by this man, that she just sees it dissolving and crumbling in front of her eyes. So that is pure, I feel like, woman just kind of like attacking the fact that it's like, no, I'm not going to mess this up, because this is on my kind of like watch, even though of course it's not my fault that she went for the walk, but like it was something that...
Let's quickly get that in there.
Yeah, let's quickly get that in there, exactly. She didn't like that stroll. That was purely kind of like where I drew it from, was the desperation of, if I mess this up, this is all on me. But I mean, working opposite this man is an absolute blast.
Likewise, and I can only hold a mirror up to that compliment. She's an absolute dream, and honestly, we were just lucky. We were lucky. You don't know who you're going to get paired with, and for something like this, it's it'd make it work. But like to have someone you like love as a person and want to work with and go to work every day, and that's a great thing. And like it made it a lot easier.
The 4 weeks flew.
Oh yeah, just about what you said about that, like those moments and stuff. I think, thinking back to it and stuff, the very sort of the setup of it being two people in one location, the process of doing that as an actor, it does it leads to like quite a concentrated, you know, momentum and energy, and that you would literally, it was just this all the time. So then because you've played a lot of the happy scenes, you've played in this house, and you feel like this is your place and your space, then because it is just you and one other person, I think there's moments that felt, I don't know, maybe like more real than perhaps if there was lots of other characters involved and there was more time, and it was like, this is this moment, and like we've got at least 2 hours now to do this bit, and we're like, and you know each other so well, and where that person is, and it's just a pleasure doing it. I keep thinking back to it now, I was like, that was really fun.
Yeah, it was.
I would like to know, how do you consider the movie? Because watching it, I consider it more of a love story than, anything else, like alien horror or anything. Just wondering, how you looked at it.
Yes, I agree. Certainly when I first read it, that is how I first looked upon it. And then I felt that, there was, of course, kind of like psychological elements, like thriller elements that came in there. But I feel that really the only kind of like horror, the fact that the horror genre pops up at all with Honeymoon is the end. Really, I think, because it is this kind of like this watching.
It's horrifying.
It's horrifying.
It's not necessarily a horror film. It's like, or elements of that.
But of course, that scene, that scene, that very end scene on the bed, like that is okay. Well, that's a horror now.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's love. I think we definitely all view.
It's a love dies story.
We all view it as a love story. A relationship story, about and just trust and who that person is, and how we pair up with people and what happens.
Yeah, but it's beautiful. Your commitment to each other. You to save him and you to save her, and living with each other. I think it's just beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.